Welcome back to HomeSpot, everyone. So today is episode number 5. So today we're going to be making a triple shelf, if you will. Now I'll kind of show you, I'll kind of explain here in a second. But just to give you a little bit of backstory, me and my wife collect shot glasses. Now we don't drink at all, for that matter, but we do collect shot glasses. Everywhere we've been, a new town, new city, whatever it is, we like to bring back a shot glass, just like a memento. Now, our collection has grown pretty big to where they don't fit on the current shelf we have right now, so they're just kind of being stacked on the counter, and it's getting kind of annoying. But today we have a couple pieces of wood here. Now, this is the first time I've ever actually worked with hardwood. This on the left here is a piece of hard maple, and on the right it's going to be a piece of walnut here. And I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. Now, again, this is just my initial thought. I just drew it out really quick one day. 3 shelves, of course, one single center spine, I guess if you would call it, holding it together. The center spine is going to be the piece of walnut, and the 3 shelves are going to be all of the hard maple. Now, I'm a little nervous about working with the new wood just because I've never done it before. But again, if I mess up, not so big a deal. I have plenty to redo a piece if I need to. But nonetheless, let's get started. So first off, we start with our walnut backboard here. So right now we're just getting it to rough width and rough length. Along with our maple boards, we're just getting them rough right now. As you can see, that is actually the old shelf that we have right now. We've obviously outgrown that. We need something a little bit bigger. So that's kind of what I'm basing my width off at. At the widest, I want it that wide. And the 2 bottom shelves are just going to be a couple inches smaller than the top ones. So once I have everything to rough width and rough length, I'm going to throw all of my boards here on this planing jig. And pretty much what it's doing is it's making sure that I get one flat, clean, straight edge. And I'm going to run every single board through here. Alright, so once I'm done with all of my shelves, I grab my backbone piece once again, and I just space it out just to see how it's going to look. Now, I do have an equal spacing between all 3 of the boards here, so right now I'm just marking out where I want my dados. Once I have that, we move on over to the table saw to get the dados cut out. Now, this is very important here. You can always take more material off, but you can never put more material back on, so take your time. If you have to pass the board along 10 times, so be it, as long as you get it right. Up next, I measured a 1/2 inch from each one of the corners. Now, the reason I did this here is I'm going to put the smallest nail I could possibly find and get a piece of wood, a thin piece of wood that actually flexes, and this is where I'm going to get my radius from here. And I'm going to do this to every single piece, that way we get the exact same radius on every single board. Alright, once we're done marking out all of our curves, now it's time to actually go cut these curves. Now, once again, this is very important to get as close to the line without going over. You can always take more material off, but you can never put more material back on. So again, just get it as close as you can to the line, and we'll finish it off at the sander and just smooth it out there. Okay, so now that we're done with the curves here, now we want to put a little bevel on the underside of the shells here. Now this is just to make it a little more modern, a little cleaner in my opinion here. I'm not a fan of the boxy look. So we're going to cut a bevel out here. Now I'm going little by little. I'm inching the fence closer to the blade little by little. That way we can get the exact reveal that we want. Once I've done that here, now the bottom actually is curved, so you're already seeing me leaning it back on the furthest point back, and then I'll lean it on the furthest point forward. That way we can cut out that profile evenly as well. And then once I'm done that, I'm actually going to put it fully straight up and down and just run it through that simple bevel once again. Alright, now that we're done with the bevels, it's time to move on over to sanding here. So as far as the shape, we already have the general finished shape. Right now we're just refining it, smoothing it down, taking all of the bandsaw lines, and once we get that done, we'll move on to the orbital sander and we'll take away all of these burn marks that the table saw blade left. Okay, now that we've sanded everything all down, it's time to move on over to how we're actually going to attach the shelves to the backbone here. Now the dados will hold it in place, but that's not nearly strong enough, so we are going to glue and screw them. We are pre-drilling, that way we don't split the wood or split the actual screw heads. Okay, once we're done with the shelves, we want to move on over to the Sawtooth Hanger. Now this is pretty simple, it's just 2 screws that are holding it in. Now you just want to be very careful with the screws, especially with the pre-drilling. So you don't want to drill all the way through it, so just be very careful as to how far you're going in. Once you did that, just screw it in and you're good to go. Once the Sawtooth Hanger is on, we move on to actually gluing and screwing these shelves onto the backbone. And it's pretty simple. The glue itself, we just want to spread it out. I just simply took an old paintbrush that was pretty much next to go into the trash. I used it to spread on. Now I just simply used an Allen wrench that I had lying around, a small one, to align where the actual pre-drilled screws are, and that way you can just simply now insert your screws. Now here is what is quite possibly the most rewarding part of any project, and that's the finishing here. So I used teak oil. I did a total of 3 layers with about a dry time of around 2 hours, give or take a few minutes. Alright, home spotters, project number 5 is done. Alright, so overall I really like it. I like the contrast between the dark walnut and the light maple. I can definitely see myself using this in future projects here and there. At the very beginning, I mentioned that this was my very first time working with hardwoods. Did I learn a lot? Yes, I learned a lot. Did I make mistakes? Yes, I also made mistakes. I fixed them to the best of my ability. Now, if someone comes up to the actual piece and stares at it, will they find those mistakes? Yes, they probably will, but only if you're actually looking for them and if I actually point them out. A couple of the mistakes are actually on the back piece to where you're never going to see it. It's going to be hanging on the wall, so you will never ever see it. What I'm trying to get at here is, don't worry if you've never done it. Just do it. Do whatever you can. Learn from it. If you mess up, scratch it, start over. Learn from your mistakes and keep going forward. Overall, this is going to look very nice on my wall. I'm going to put the shot glasses on here. Obviously, we're probably going to outgrow it here, but again, for now, this is going to work perfect for us here. It'll look nice in my house. It'll look nice where I want to put it. And that's pretty much all I have for you. And with that being the case, home spotters, I do thank you for your time. Please browse the channel, like, subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.